sign heralding a welcome to Bonnie, Scotland.
Well, it's not raining yet.
And it's not raining. No, that's true, it's not raining. The sky is still sort of blue out there, a bit of grey cloud creeping in a little. But it's not snowing, so that's a plus. From the car park outside the base station, we're going to set off up the side of the ski slopes and follow parallel to this. From here you can see the remains of the funicular railway, which I gather had closed due to technical problems and was unlikely to be reopening. It's quite a shame, really. There's Paddy. There's Colin. You can see it's not the brightest of days. There is a little bit of blue sky trying to poke through. We're walking sort of alongside the ski slope and making our way up towards the summit of Cairn Gorm. It's cold, it's wet, and the snow ploughs are just starting to come out. This is the top station. It's actually at the top of the ski slope. It's been a while since either Colin and I had donned our hiking boots and gone on any serious walking. We did a lot when we were a lot younger, including the 3 Peaks of Yorkshire, which we did in 12 hours and got our little badge. So it was interesting to actually see how we'd get on, whether we'd be able to walk the hill in the time frame that we'd set ourselves. I, for one, was glad that I dubbined my boots well and actually bought a pair of new gaiters because they certainly help keep my feet warm and dry. I'm going to walk over a bit nearer because it's so claggy. Well, we've had a cup of coffee on the top, check the maps, check the compasses, and we're trying to just now drop back down the other side. We're not going to go the route we originally planned for today. The weather's too grotty. Into a little bit more of a sheltered route back down. As you can probably hear, the wind is whipping up round here. It's quite misty, quite cold as well, though we're quite wrapped up, so it's not too bad. But, like I say, the dog's going absolutely mad. There's so many things to smell and sniff around here. We've got him on a lead because he's getting a bit old now. We're just worried that he would disappear. We didn't find him again. Well, we're nearly back down to the car park now. Probably got a little bit of a more clearer view of the lake. There's Colin and Paddy heading off down the path. We're actually on the side of a ski slope here. It looks pretty miserable at the moment because there's no snow. Just met a couple of guys that had their skis on their backs and they were going looking for some snow up in the hills. I don't know if they're going to find enough to go skiing on. Who knows? But anyway, we're going to head back down. Probably have another cup of coffee when we get to the bottom. Not sure what we're going to do with this afternoon now. When you take a break in the Highlands and you're not walking up mountains, you've got to find some things to do.
Kind of nutty finish to it as well. We have quite a long distillation process.
So
there's a sign out beside advertising whisky tasting at 4 o'clock. So as it was only 3 o'clock, I nipped back to the holiday apartment where we were staying and said to Colin what was he up to in an hour. He said nothing, so I said, how did you fancy going doing some whisky testing? He didn't take much persuading, so off we went and we had a really fabulous evening in the snug. We arrived at the car park at the base station of Cairn Gorm, checked in with the ranger and then set about going up the long track with the aim of reaching the summit of Ben Macdui. I'm just panning the camera around so that you can get a good look of the hills and a bit of the track. You can just see Colin up ahead. We're starting to go up and the weather is slightly better than yesterday. It's not quite as damp, it's not quite as cold, and we certainly don't need our waterproofs at this stage, so that's a good thing. Paddy's really loving it. He's jumping about and running like a puppy with 3 tails. As we started to ascend a bit higher, however, the cloud did start to drop in. The wind picked up, and as you can see, we're starting to lose a little bit of the visual. In fact, it gets, at one point, we could hardly see one another as we were walking along. I'm sort of taking turns trying to keep on the right track, filming and walking the dog, it actually became quite difficult to stay on the correct path at times. Colin was trying out a new app, which meant that it was great while the signal was strong, but if the signal dipped, which it often did, it was very easy to lose or get a frozen screen. So we ended up actually resorting to the good old-fashioned map and compass, because we realised that we had sort of veered off the recognised track. There was a lot of snow, and sometimes the stone cairns that are on the top that mark the way were sort of buried or obscured by either the kind of mist or the snow. And I guess that's how people get lost and get into difficulties. So it's really, really quite important to keep an eye on where you're going and what you're up to. Yay, we finally made it. We got to the summit of Ben Macdui. It was a real sense of achievement, even though the weather was horrible. It really was horrible. It was cold, it was damp. We stopped and had a bite to eat, a cup of coffee, just to sort of keep us going. We weren't going to stay there for too long, mind you, because it was really quite cold, a lot of snow around. Anyway, so we packed up, and then Paddy had a bit of a snack, and then we set off back down again. As we made our way down, interestingly, although the wind was blowing really, really strongly, and at some points actually enough to almost take you off your feet, the good side was that it lifted the mist a little bit, and actually we did start to get some glimpses of the really beautiful scenery which was all around us, but we just couldn't see it. Thanks for watching. Look out for more of my challenges. We're going to be doing the zip wire next. Don't forget to follow or give us a like. I'll see you soon.